We're waiting and we're live, apparently. You are live. Live, live, live. See that actually, Red and Tera Show 2021. So
See how ready we were for this. Like this is how impromptu this was. We didn't even check the shit. Um,
I'm just going to do a little minor editorial there.
this, this
And
is this is why we stopped doing it for so long. Because Tara is
no,
just so unprofessional. Like
yeah.
his level of he doesn't know the difference between one and two. Like well, he does. He knows I'm number one, he's number two. But
Counting's
apart
never
from that,
really been my forte, you know what I mean? Counting's never been. I'm not a numbers man, I'm a words man.
you
But
do the wordle.
no, I've never done it now. It's this. I don't jump
Yeah,
on
don't.
these fucking new trends. I'm not a trend
Well,
jumper.
no, Joe. I actually I'm on what day 11, I think. But I said I like word puzzles though. I'm a bit of a nerd, like so I like all that sort of shit. And then that's what I did say. I wasn't. I kind of heard of it. I was like, oh, right, fair enough. That she was doing it with her mates, and then I kind of helped her with one. And I was like, oh, that's easy. She's like, oh, it's not do it. And I was like, all right, so I start doing them, and I'm all right. I haven't not got it yet, so I'm 100%. All right though.
I don't know what the criteria is for it, so I don't know whether
To be honest with you,
bad
right,
or
it's actually only about 4 minutes of distraction from the work. But it's only 4 minutes because like it doesn't take too long to get them. Like you kind of, you know what I mean? It's like it's just for me. I was in a competition with myself now. That's how they got me because now I'm 100%, and it's because it's words and shit like that. Like I'm like I haven't got it in one yet, so I'm gonna keep playing it until I get it in one. That's me goal. I don't care
and,
if I'm
and what constitutes winning, or you know what I mean?
if you get the right. So here's the basics of it, right? So you have like 6 rows, right? There's 5 letters across, all blank, and you have your
Yeah.
standard keyboard at the bottom. Now there's a word of the day that you have to make up, or you have to guess. You have 6 guesses together. So you'll look at the keyboard, see a 5 letter word saying party, Party, right? So if any of those letters are in the word that they want you to find, it will pop up. So like, if P is correct but it's not in the right spot, it goes from the orange and green, then the black to say that letter is not in the word we're looking for. This one is green, so this one is, and it's in the right spot. So you kind of make the right. So now I know fucking A, T, and Y aren't in this word. So you rule them out. You start looking for words that will fit in, and then right now this isn't in, this isn't in. Right. Yeah, so that's all it is. It's quite simplistic. Like, it's actually harder to explain than it is to play.
I was just gonna say that I'm like I haven't got yeah no I kind of get just
Yeah,
I
because
seen loads
if
of
I
people
showed you
talking about
once,
it.
you'd be like, oh yeah, that's it's simple. But again, it's just like I have a little. Well, me and ourselves will fucking. Did you get it today? What you got it in 4? I got it in 2 or 3. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah,
Right.
but that's it. Like, you get nothing else from it whatsoever. Like, um,
It sounds like something worthy of taking up all your time.
well, no, but I'm saying it doesn't. Like, it's literally 5 minutes. If it's a difficult word, if you can't get it in 10 minutes, if you can't get it in 10 minutes, you shouldn't play it. Like, they're not that. It's not that. It's only a 5 minute kind of. You get it in 4 or 5 minutes. Like,
Is it a
they're right.
popular thing now? Is it something that loads of cunts are playing? Like everyone you know, like or just the random.
No, not necessarily. Again, like, her friends are doing it, so she started doing it, and then I was seeing her doing it, and she was explaining to me. I was like, "Oh, that seems fairly easy." Like, so the next thing she was like, "Oh, we'll try and get it." Then no, I was going to one of those. Like, so I was like, "All right," went in, bang, 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 sent it there, done it, and
Yeah.
then it's yeah, like, again, it's nothing. If you don't do it, you won't be that upset about it, and if you do it, your life won't be that enhanced, but you also won't be upset
I feel like
about
it's not
it.
really going to enhance my life in any form or fashion.
Yeah,
So
no, you're sitting
no,
outside, you're waiting,
when I see
you're
these
waiting
trends
for
going
a
around,
horse to come out of the shop. No, that's all it is. You're sitting in the car,
yeah,
waiting for her to come out of the shop, or you're going to get a takeaway or something, or whatever she's doing for 5 minutes. You're in the car, bang, 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 do that. Well, that's what it is, like, you know what I mean? Or So yeah, but yeah,
Jesus, you
do
get
or don't. I don't care.
you get random 5 minutes within in your day to fucking do things like that's mental. What's that like? And then you fill it full of fucking random games and puzzles.
Exactly,
Yeah,
escape from this reality that I know is hell. I mean, life.
yeah. So how's inflation? How are you doing in inflation?
It's inflating.
Inflating. I can see that. How's the boxing training actually? Are you still doing the boxing training?
Yeah, do a bit, do a bit.
You going
It's,
at it?
getting a little bit fitter now. I can feel it because I'm not. I wasn't sore after this one.
Are
Like
you doing the same 6 weeks over again? Yeah.
no, it's going to continue on because everyone else is going to still doing it. So
All right.
rather
So
than
it's
start
not
again,
bad.
I'm going to
Yeah, yeah,
continue
yeah.
on. It's
Where
rather
do you
bit for
do
a
that?
lot of things.
Where do you do that?
I don't tell people because they're going to kind of stab me and shoot me over that. Like I'm a
Oh yeah,
gangster
yeah.
rapper. I've
Just
got enemies.
send me location. Send me
Yeah, I've got
location.
enemies out there. So yeah, like I mean, I've probably loads of enemies in Lucan Village where they are.
Isn't that what
Um,
fucking that's what happened with Masvidal and fucking Covington? Did you hear that?
yeah, so apparently Cobham's getting done with a felony charge. That'll fuck him up. He won't be able to travel out of the state then, will he? Well,
Masvidal,
he's
yeah.
really good to know.
Apparently he was fucking hawking his Instagram account or something like that. Figured out where he was out for dinner or whatever. Ran up with a hoodie and a mask on and sucker punched him. Knocked his tooth out. That's the rumor going around. You know what I mean?
I don't agree with that, right? I don't agree with that. You shouldn't be doing that whatsoever. But that's so fucking massive. That,
It's
you know
it's
what I mean?
like, let's be honest. He done the same thing to fucking Leon Edwards. He sucker punched him. You know what I mean? But play silly games. Oh no, like I also agree with you. Had 25 minutes to settle that in the octagon, and you got manhandled. Like, but whatever you talk shit about him, it's like you're going up against a bully. The guy's bigger than you. You know he's gonna bat you every time. So the next time I see it, I'm just gonna prick you across the back of the head and leg it. You know what I mean? That's that's kind of it. Like you can't win, so.
Well, but it's not like I think he just felt like he let his kids down because in those 25 minutes, he didn't do what he had in his head planned to do. So he felt I don't care about this. Is like because like Col- Colby, you take it outside of that shit a bit when you go for the kids anyway. So
Yeah, yeah.
Mazda, we thinking like if you took her outside of the ring, then I'm taking her outside of the fucking ring. You know what I mean? Which again, and again, it's even harder because like everyone wants to see Colby come to get punched in the face.
Oh,
Like I
he's
hope there's a video
very
of it.
punchable.
I hope he cries and stuff like that because everyone
Yeah.
wants to see that. Like, and then to see him come out like, "Hey, you're the virgin," and then still like him doing that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, no man, it's I hope like, I don't say the worry, but would it affect his UFC? Because they're the signing that new fucking Mega Millions contract with UFC, didn't he? Like, would that all go down the blade and Swanee now? Because Colvin, now Colby,
No.
like, 'cause he's kind of on this, like, first responders, American police is not the guys are the real heroes. He's
He's
on that
he's
buzz.
he's gone full fucking WWE. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, do you
like
know what I mean?
I
Like, John
remember
Cena. No, but
shout
my
out.
point is, though,
Hold
the
on,
point is,
just
right,
shout out to Nolly there. Outrageous Kobe's the man boy. Nolly's partial to an L fucking street fight as well, so he knows what he's talking about. I'm with Nolly then. If Nolly agrees, then it's all good. It's all good.
no,
No,
I get that. No, I can't even remember what I was saying. Thanks, no, you big fucking interrupter.
no. Come here. I actually like Kobe. I like Kobe. I
Yeah, no,
know
so
it's
right.
all gimmick. Let's be honest, he's really good. He's a really good fighter. You can't deny it. I get why he fucking irks people and he plays into that. It's that kind of the anti-Trumpism. You know what I mean? It's you know how to push people's buttons. It's so easy, and he says all the things that will push people's buttons. But
Yeah.
he has that bit of bitch in him where I remember he was slagging off Brazil and all, and Verdum cornered him and threw a boomerang at his head and all, and he was legging it and calling for security and all. Same thing when Newsman caught him. What were they were at a restaurant or something, and Newsman kind of cornered him, and he was calling for security and all. So he's a little bit like that, you know what I mean? Like he rolled solo and
But my point was with him
he
being
played
all
the
in
market.
the cops and all, he probably pursue this to like charge Masvidal.
Oh, I'd say so. He'd ruin his life, you know what I mean? He ruined
You know
his
what I mean? That's
career
his
or
name. Like,
whatever.
that's the main worry about it, because it is like it's a dickhead move from Masvidal. Shouldn't have done it. No matter how whether you like Colby or not. Like, I mean, I like Colby Covington. To be honest with you, I love when he's doing all that.
I like Masvidal as
He's
well.
so good at doing it. He's so,
Yeah.
Colby's so good at doing it that you have to admire him. But you also like Masvidal as well. Masvidal. You know what I mean? So it'd be a shame to see it fuck his entire career up. But also, you can't be doing that shit, man. Like,
No, and
it's
especially not when you've been paid and had 25 minutes to settle your beef in the fucking octagon. You know what I mean? And then, but whatever, like I say, you do what you have to do. It was the same shit with you have to be wary when it comes to combat sports that you don't allow the outside the ring stuff influence selling fights, because then cunts will start throwing dollies at buses again. You know what I mean? To sell just to sell a fight, like, and you don't really want to encourage that. That's probably why you haven't seen Masvidal fight Leon Edwards, because of what happened. It was like, you gave me a few digs now. You know what I mean? It's like, well, we're not going to encourage that, because now the next cunt who wants a fight with someone will just pull up backstage and throw a few digs at them, and then they'll get the fight. You know what I mean? So I can see why they wouldn't encourage that to happen, but I can't see Covington and Masvidal fighting again. You know, like after this, I could see it going again. You know what I mean? You'd have to. Like,
I don't know. The thing is, right? The thing is, again, Colby being a little prick, but in a good way, he won't give him the rematch.
That's true. That's
Because
like Khabib.
because
The rematch.
he'll give your enemy what he truly deserves. No, if you
I can't
possess that one thing that he wants, you don't give it to him, and that's the ultimate power. Like, you know what I mean? That's game over. It doesn't matter wherever you.
Did you see the other incident with Paddy, the Paddy, and your man Abora or whatever, where he fucking bounced the hand sanitizer off his head? See that? Yeah. What's the thing? Did you watch the card the weekend? Obviously you did.
Yeah. What's that? Actually, fucking right. And I have to say, I'm going to throw a bet on, right? And going through it, and bang. And I got up to fucking Gunnar Nelson, right? And I was like 2.5 years back. That all weird, that karate stance and all. And I was like, I didn't really know the Chinese boy, but he's a big stock. I only see the picture, and I was like,
oh yeah, he's all right.
He's a not a KO artist, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw this. And he was like 4-1 or something. I was like, fuck, I'm going to throw at him because there's going to be an upset. So I done that. And then I was saying to him, because Mick was here with me, and we got to the Dan Hooker fight. And I was like, I think Hooker's going to lose. And he was like, nah, I think Hooker's going to lose. Like, he's not. So I went with Dan Hooker. The only two I got fucking wrong were two that. Like, I should have went with Gunnar Nelson, but I overthought that one. Because I was like, someone's going to.
It was hard to know, because his last fight was Leon Edwards, and Leon Edwards just not manhandling. He kind of took him down and done what Gunnar Nelson usually does to other people. You know what I mean? He kind of owned them on the ground. And then, like you say, 2.5 years out, you've no idea what version of one's coming in. That mustache was that mustache. He looked like fucking something out of the YMCA. He did. What the fuck is that all about? But I like Gunnar Nelson. I'm glad he got the win, but it was in the night that was in it was the most underwhelming fight, wasn't it? Like the decision, he just kind of got the job done.
It was a great part though. Like, every fight was a fucking it was a cracker, I have to say. In the early, the guy watched from there. They got literally as soon as the football was over at 5 o'clock, I back on the fucking.
I think I got back about 7:30. It was about 7:30 I got in and sat down to watch it. So there was some good fights then.
The guy watched, and from the very start it was like second round, fourth round, second round, fourth round.
Yeah.
Only one went to the decision of the whole fucking card, maybe two. Like, but it was good. It was a good card. It was a really good card. Like, good night, I'd say. And Tom the Aspinall is fucking. He's legit, isn't he? Like, in fairness, because even my brother was like, I don't know Aspinall. He was going with Volkov, and I was like, no way. I was like, nah, it's a mix. Arsenal is fucking deadly. Like, and then when Mick was up, he kept going, oh, you can't hear it. They go, it's like he's good.
Remember when he kind of beat Arlovsky was kind of when I started taking notice, because Arlovsky was getting fed all these new up and comers, and he was winning every one of them on decision. And like Aspinall just went in there, smashed him in the nose, took him down, and submitted him within the first round. It was like, whoa, haven't seen anyone do that.
He's moving for a big bastard, like
Ah,
he's a big guy, like he's 6'4" or something like that, and he's just fucking.
6'4", 6'5". But then he's in there with Bisbing afterwards, and Bisbing's standing beside him. Like, Bisbing's not far off that either. Like, Bisbing's a big lad. Like, so for a
Yeah,
heavy, but it's this new heavyweight, isn't it? Like, he has the movement like Cyril Gane or whatever, but he has that ground game as well, which is you're kind of looking now going, geez, imagine him against Ngannou if he could get out of the way of a shot, like it'd be interesting to see if he took him down. What would happen? Yeah, like you're starting to look at it in that term now. You know what I mean? Like,
He's definitely getting inside and gone now, and he just would anyone be able to put that bastard on his back, like.
well, fucking Stipe did for
That's
5 rounds.
I said any human be able to put fucking.
Yeah. So I was kind of thinking after that, I was like, right, I'd love to see him against fucking Derek Lewis or something like that. But then when he called out to Ivasa, I don't know if I want to see either of them lose. Like I like both of them. You know what I mean? But I think he does
because they're kind of bad.
Like he's not gonna stand and bang with him the way fucking Derek Lewis did. You know what I mean? He'll take him down and beat him. So
I don't know. I think Arsenal have fancy chances in a stand up with him. I do.
Yeah, but he has ways to win. Like he'll take him down quite easily.
Yeah, but if he gets in too much trouble, he has a plan B and a plan C. But I think he's going to fancy. I think he'll fancy himself in the middle of that ring.
I'd love to see him against Cyril Gane as well. Yeah, I'd love to see Cyril Gane as well to see if he can get inside because, like, Volkov, I thought Volkov would be because he's a bit rangier. Against most people, he's a bit rangier. He can fight and he's a good kickbox. He can fight at range and kickbox. I thought he'd find it a bit harder to take him down, but he took him down so fucking easy. So I'm kind of looking at Cyril Gane. Well, Cyril Gane, like, I think he get in and take him down and fucking submit him quite easily as well. You know what I mean? So, the fucking sky's the limit for him. We've been on the Tom Aspinall train for a while now, so it's good to see. But yeah, no, it's great.
Paddy, did you get a little bit of a like see how he was rocked early on? Now he recovered.
He was like that in the fourth fight as well. Like he was nearly knocked out in the fourth fight.
Yeah. He's taking a dig, but can he take a dig off a top fiver? And I know he's saying, well, until I get that money, I understand that, right? So let's say you get the money. Let's say you get the money.
Imagine him against a Gaethje, a Chandler, even a Tony Ferguson. You know what I mean?
This is what I'm saying. Like Tony Ferguson would not relent on him. I don't. Like if Tony Ferguson holds him, he wouldn't give him a chance.
But even in Cage Warriors, the striking wasn't amazing. He's good in the ground, like he's good jiu-jitsu and that, but his striking wasn't amazing. He's all heart and guts and mouth and all, but he's gonna. As soon as he
I like him, and I hope him wrong, and I hope he wins the fucking the belt. I really like the guy. But I was just wondering, when I see this, if that was a better fella. No, I know again. I understand why he's not fighting better fellas. I'm not criticizing him for that. But if it was a better fella and you got tagged like that, you don't get the chance to kind of get on judo flip in. They're fucking finished, like. So,
like you how good McGregor was on the come up. Like he isn't anywhere near that skill. Even you look at the likes of Sean O'Malley or something, the ability he has, the striking and all that. Like he doesn't have that, and he's very, very chinny. Very chinny, you know what I mean? And the chin is out there. He's a bit more Darren Till than fucking McGregor, you know what I mean? He's a bit chinny, but he has the ground game, so he's something to fall back on, which kind of evens it out a little bit, you know what I mean? But I think if they build him up right and give him the right fights, he can go 2, 3, 4 fight winning streak and get up into the top 10. But I think in the top 10, then he's going to have problems.
But no, to be honest, you could, like, with his name and his bows, he could get a top 10.
Yeah, but why would you? And he's right. If you're not being paid to fight Dustin Poirier, why do you fight Dustin Poirier? Like, it take years off your life, you know what I mean? And Sean O'Malley's been a bit like that as well, where he's like, until I'm getting paid for these championship fights, I'm not taking them. I'll take these other guys, like, you know what I mean? And then when I get a new contract, and in that new contract, I'm getting pay-per-view or whatever, well, then I'll jump on pay-per-view and I'll start fighting these guys that are in the top 10 or whatever, Makes sense. Because
And that's what I think they hold out. They will win. I think they will get it like as well. So they
well,
probably
like
have to finish out.
you see what happened to Darren Till, and he beats Cowboy Cerrone, and then he's fighting main events. Within 2 fights, he's fighting Tyron Woodley for a title. And since then, every fight he's fought fucking Gastelum, Whitaker, Brunson, you know what I mean? He's fighting fucking animals. And he's just like, he's never been given a chance to develop where he can get 4 or 5 wins, get a bit of, you know what I mean? Like he won 2 or 3 and he was thrown up too soon against the best of the best, where he should have been tested against the grappler, but not the best grappler. Against the striker, but not the best striker. He's fighting Wonder Boy Thompson after fucking 4 fights in the UFC or something, you know what I mean? So I think they kind of learned a lesson with him where now for Till, you can't put Till in anything other than a fucking main event or second or third on a pay-per-view. Like, he has to fight the best of the best, where I'm sure he'd love to, can I wind that back and fight someone outside the top 10? But if he goes and fights them now, it's like his career's on the decline rather than the incline. You know what I mean? Like, it's harder to go back once you've skipped forward. So, I'd like to see them do with Paddy. Yeah, the next one, I don't care if the next one's a fucking tin can as well, Like, Vargas is decent, but he's not amazing, you know what I mean? So, a few more.
I agree with them. But I think what happened is that they will get the contract they want, but they will have to see out the contract. So they will expect another 2 little fucking.
They wouldn't be beyond count. But they wouldn't be beyond giving them a better contract now and saying, right, your next fight is going to be the main event on a fight night or something. I could see that happening. What do you think of Molly McCann's knockout?
Yeah, absolutely.
She was in the other realm, wasn't she, after that, when she got that fucking...
Yeah, it was a little bit scary there for a second. It was like,
you could see the ghost fucking seeping over. Like.
The ref looked a bit worried now, but she just hit the fucking deck. It was, and even she was saying, she goes, and you could see she set it up. She set it up like that, so it was fucking, no fair play. She got 50 grand for that, didn't she?
Everyone who got a finish got 50 G's. I think Dana was in a good mood, so he was like, right, hey, in fairness, how could you pick fight of the night, finishing, like, it was all so good, so I think he was just like, right, anybody who got a finish, you're getting 50 grand. And the sorry, like, because it was such a good night, which is fair enough, you know what I mean? Like, you can't argue with that. Because, like, would you have given it to Aspinall? Would you have given it to Arnold Allen, Aspinall? Would you have given Paddy for his finish? Would you know what I mean? Would you have given it to Molly McCann? Like, so just give them all, you know?
Like, even that man that, what's the name, that hands on a Tiger boy, his knockout against the English fellow, Jay fucking, that was a fucking, he got a kick in the head that, like, in fairness, would kill the average man, like, you know what I mean? And he rolled her out, and then he went on to fucking, he came back to win that fight, like, it was, and one of the best knockouts, definitely probably the best knockout of the night. They just fucking smashed that man clean.
And it's forgotten about because of what came after it, like, you know what I mean?
Exactly, and that's what fucking it was, because it was fucking, it was really good. And it's good that was on so early. It's like a shame it's not on that fucking London more often, because it was,
I don't even get up. Even the big fights, like coming to Masvidal, she got up for it, and it was like, me bollocks, I'm fucking not doing it.
I wouldn't go up for that.
Nah, just not even arsed anymore. I'm just kind of like, I'll watch them when I get up. I just fucking...
I just wanted to see. I don't know what it was. I just wanted to see it. I put on fucking... When I got up, I think the RDA fight was just about to start, so I watched the whole 5 rounds of that, and then the fucking call of the Masvidal fight.
Oh, honourable shout out to Paul Craig's finish as well, like. That was fucking...
Yeah.
He's getting fucking hammered in the face, and then just, thank you very much, give me that arm triangle, see you later.
He went for it a bit earlier as well.
And
nearly got it.
I was surprised. I was surprised he kept going. He's a savage. I remember his last fight, he broke your man's arm and all, like, you know what I mean? Chap's a fucking animal.
But
yeah, but he'd be very similar, probably to Paddy. He can't really strike, but he's dangerous on the fucking ground, and he want like literally at the end of it, he's going, "Yeah, I kind of took a few of them punches because I was trying to entice him into it, so I was letting him hit me, so he'd overextend, and once he overextend, I grabbed it, and that's literally what he done. It was like he set him up. He took the
But
punch,
how
grabbed
quick,
him.
how fucking quick did you do it, man? Jesus
It was
Christ.
fucking, it was
Unbelievable.
scary. It was how quick he done it. Yeah, I
He's
like Paul
went for
Craig.
him. He's gonna lose this fight now. Fuck, he's gonna lose this fight. He won. That's how quick. That's how quick
Yeah.
it was. Like,
Yeah, and your man's now Mug. What's his name? Nikarov or whatever his fucking name is. I was seeing a couple of his fights, and he's a bit fucking savage, even on the ground. Like, you know what I mean? Like fucking
but when you had
Dagestani.
to, one of those ones that he hit him with,
Oh,
hurt
they
him.
were he's hammering him. Like
Yeah,
it looked
you
like
could
he
see it.
knocked him out and then woke him back up again. He hit him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, good night of fights, and like you just said, it's great having them on at that time, because it's good entertainment. You sit in it and like a 10:30, 11 o'clock moment's over. It's like, all right, that's grand, done.
Good
You
for
know what
him,
I
yeah.
mean?
Stick on the boxing. But
Yeah. Will
yeah,
you watch?
because Mick was watching the Thor and fucking Eddie Hall fight.
Did you watch the? Yeah, did you watch it? I didn't watch it. I heard he was whinging after it or whatever.
No, well, Mick had it on his phone there. He was watching it. Apparently, Eddie Hall had the weirdest fucking. Like, he was kind of walking with his left hand up and his right hand kind of really low down, like as in Quasimodo stylish or something. I don't know. I have to watch it back. I
Yeah.
actually keep forgetting about it. But yeah, yeah. Apparently wasn't great. Apparently Eddie Hall won the first. Put a man on his arse the first 2 rounds or something, and then apparently just got manhandled after that. Like,
There's a good one, interesting one on this week. In one championship, I don't know if you remember, Mighty Mouse Demetrius Johnson is fighting your
yeah,
man. What's his name? Rutang or whatever. The fucking Muay Thai guy, man. If you get a sec, check out this guy on his fucking his highlight reel on YouTube. He's a
I think
sap.
the baldy fella that just go around tripping people up and
No.
kicking them.
Yeah, well, no, he's like that. I think he's a bit of hair. Yeah, no, I don't think. No, he's not the body lad. But he's be getting fucking like kicked in the head and just laughing at cunts, you know what I mean? Like, and just he's just a savage. Like the chap is a fucking animal. Like, but they're fighting. I think the first round's like Muay Thai, second round's MMA, third round Muay Thai, fourth round MMA or something like that. So there's a few good fights on that card. It should be a bit of crack, like, because your man's like the top Muay Thai fighter in the world, like the most famous. You know what I mean? And Demetrius Johnson was the best fucking flyweight ever in the UFC, like until Cejudo beat him, he was fucking undefeated. You know what I mean? So, do you remember they fucking traded him for Ben Askren? That's how Ben Askren
Yeah,
got into the UFC. Like, they done the trade. So yeah, now it's fucking have a little look at that this weekend. I don't think the UFC card is great. I think Katie Taylor's fighting as well, isn't she? She's on this weekend.
this
I think.
weekend, next weekend.
No, I think it's this weekend. Next weekend.
What date is it? I don't even know what date it is.
Tell you now. I'll tell you now.
When
23rd.
day would be a fucking month.
23rd
What
of
you?
2021, is it?
According to our banner earlier, Tara.
Yeah. It's been a while. So anything else happening in the world, Red? How are Villa doing?
No, absolutely nothing happening in the world. Nothing at all. Don't look up. Yeah, man.
I haven't seen that yet, man. I haven't watched that. I fucking have been meaning to watch that. Any use? No.
It's weird, right? Because it's clearly a climate change movie, right? That's
Right.
kind of what the whole thing is about. But within it, it's the whole woke versus conservative jokes, and they kind of take the piss out of both people, which but yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. I watched it. It was a bit smarmy, and it was they kind of directing jokes at people, but it was like no, but you actually do that, but it didn't give the vibe off that. Because sometimes it did, sometimes it was a little bit self-deprecating, but then there was other times where it's going to slap. Like the whole thing, it's kind of like in a nutshell, don't look up like that. The Fox News fans, if they were told, if the government says, "Oh, look at this asteroid going to hit the Earth," Fox News and all will be saying, "No, there's not. There's no asteroid. Just don't look up, and everything will be all right." You know what I mean? The pandemic. Oh,
I
there's no
get you. I
pandemic.
get you.
That it's that kind of, but it's hidden with an asteroid, and there's loads of little, very political, but like Leo DiCaprio's good, isn't it? I like him. I like Leo DiCaprio. Uh,
He's all right.
yeah,
He's a good lad.
it's not. Yeah, no, don't watch it. Don't watch
No,
it. No, I wouldn't recommend it.
have you been watching Peaky Blinders? Peaky fucking Blinders.
Oh, I've been watching it. I own
Have you been watching Peaky fucking Blinders?
Oh, they watching it.
There's one thing starting to annoy me, and it's the fucking
Oh,
socialist agenda in it. They're pushing the socialist fucking agenda in it. Socialism and quiet communism, bit of socialism. The fascists are fucking throwing bricks through windows, but the socialists are for the working class people. And it's just this little, or like his fucking little sneaky bastards. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
yeah, but
Obviously, won't get no spoiler, like if people haven't seen it, or whatever. But you see that's kind of trending in the background. Obviously, Tommy is a fucking socialist bleeding MP or whatever. You know what I mean? The working party.
but in fairness, it's kind of
Big push.
somewhat
You're one
historically at the time.
in kind.
You know what I mean? Like,
We
it
are
kind
one
of
from
happened
the
over there.
IRA saying we could push the Irish people to fascism or communism, depending on which. Yeah, it's like he's a fucking rewriting history and these little cunts. I know it's only fictional and all, but you know what I mean. It irks me a little bit. It irks me, especially at a time when socialism is on the rise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing about it is when you look back and then you can see that socialism doesn't work. Like this is how
It's what I'm
long back they've been
saying.
trying.
But yeah, it's
Yeah, but
it's
this is how
the
long back they've
undertone.
been trying socialism. It
I
doesn't
know.
work. Like,
But then they have the undertone in it, and you can see it. I was listening to fucking Molly McCann on Talksport there, and she was saying, "Yeah, no, me and Paddy are scouts, whatever the scout. Me and Paddy were leftist. We both believe in the same things. We're both very left and socialist and all." And I was like, "Whoa, what? We're left socialist? So you're a woke fucking, you know what I mean? You're part of the woke agenda. Is that this what we're dealing with?" Like, but
probably, yeah, but they're employed today. You know what I mean? Like, they
did
can
you
do that.
actually? Did you see that ad the Daily Wire put out for the razors?
Deadly, 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 deadly,
Fucking brilliant,
deadly.
brilliant.
That's what people need to be doing. That's what people need to be
I,
doing. Don't apologize. Don't
I,
apologize. Go after
I
them.
endorse
Thank
everything about that. I want that
Yeah,
mink
no.
coat. I want them women walking around for you know what I mean?
I'm
It's
just not sure. I'm literally just not sure if it's actually selling razors and a kit and all, or if that's
it
just
genuinely
local.
is. It is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
even better.
that's that's even better. It's not even fake news. It's real news. I think I might buy it just to support the cause. You know what I mean? Fair play to them. I loved your ad. Yeah, I'll support her. You know what I mean? They got that little shot in at Gillette as well.
Yeah. No, no, that's how you should be handling these
Yeah,
attacks or whatever it is. When they go out to just ridicule them. So you do is ridicule them and then try and have their business closed down for that stupid decision for being weak.
yeah.
Close your business now. Close your business. I
Well,
don't mean close down by going and smashing it. I mean
it's
let's
kind of the
let the people
anti-cancelled,
decide.
isn't it? Because it's like, now keep your business. I'm not trying to shut your business down. I'll just boycott you and go elsewhere with my business. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And if enough people agree with you, your business will succeed. If enough
There
people
you go.
don't, and this goes across the board. That's left and right. That's like
It
the
was
beauty of capitalism.
it was it was beautifully done. Whoever, obviously, whatever the directing in it and all, and filming and all was great, but the writers in it, they nailed it. You know what I mean? Nailed
Yeah,
it.
the
They
fucking
just they hit every tone,
uh,
every point that needed to be hit. You know what I mean? But subtly, and didn't overdo it. You know what I mean? Just hit it and moved on. You know what I mean? Didn't dwell on it. You know what I mean? It's what the left can't do. They don't have humor. They don't have uh a unique insight on things. It's no, I don't like what you're doing, so I'm going to shut you down. That's all they have. They can't counteract it. They can't go right. You've made your point. I disagree with you strongly, and I'm going to go here and do this thing that will make you look bad or shine a bad light. You know what I mean? It's like no, shut you down. No dissenting voices, because our argument or our input or our opinion on it is so fragile and has no substance. We can't have you have an alternative thought put in the space. We have to remove it from the space so there can only be our opinion. You know what I mean? It doesn't stand up to scrutiny. So I thought they hit every fucking point on the head, bang, and just fucking ridiculed the whole fucking woke left agenda in one fucking ad for razors. It was brilliant. You know what I mean?
But you know why they did it though? Like they actually did it because they
Do the
Harry's
razor.
razors.
Yeah,
They were sponsors. They were advertisers or whatever on the
yeah,
Daily Wire. So Daily Wire, isn't it?
yeah,
Daily Wire.
yeah,
Um, they were advertisers for them, and then you got a tweet from some high school kid with 2 followers saying, "Oh my God, you guys are biggest for supporting these guys." And
yeah.
they, because of that tweet, we don't support the misogyny. Our views don't align with them, and they pulled
Yeah,
me
our
out. So
values
they're going
don't
the
align.
absolute. So Daily Wire, they go, really? That saps. All right, I'm going to ridicule you now. But at the time, they think you guys are horrible. They think you, their customer, are horrible people. We
Yeah,
don't. We just want your money. Come to us. You know what I mean,
yeah. It's,
we'll take
it's,
your money. We'll take your money, but we don't dislike you. You know what I mean? Like, they take your money and they do dislike you.
yeah,
Yeah, no, good.
they nailed it. You know what I mean? But
Mm.
what do you make? We probably fucking shouldn't get into it. We get into trouble. But what do you make of the whole Lee? What's her name? His name? Her name?
Yeah, no, yeah. Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. And the problem is you can't. And that's the problem. You can't talk about it because what you do is you'll state facts and you'll be taken down or banned or cancelled or whatever for
Like,
stating
do you know what I was
for
thinking, Red?
talking
Right?
the truth.
I wasn't good enough to make it as a footballer, but Jesus, right now I could fucking be transgender and I could play for the top women's team in the world. You know what I mean? That's literally how ridiculous it is. You know what I mean? You're the guy who was 500th in the nationals in men's is now the
But no,
champion.
I think he was higher. I think what happened was when he changed over or something. That was his lowest point, but he was changing over and he wasn't competing or something. So he was a bit
Yeah, but
higher and he
facts do
wasn't
matter,
much.
so I stand corrected.
Wasn't no, but then that wasn't. I don't think he was much higher. And maybe what like in the 200 or something like that. Like, they're still not great, but I don't think the number. I think the number going around was a bit.
Nothing that'd blow your
And like,
dick
to
off.
make it seem worse, but I think it was still. It's still. Like, you just don't fucking do it. I'm all for setting a league up for. Like, we have, and people can't even be mad at that because you have a men's league, you have a women's league. Why not have a trans league? And you have men to women.
Do you know what I find
And
the
to
funniest
women.
part of it, Red? Right? If you're transitioning from a man to a woman, you can compete against women. But if you're transitioning from a woman to a man, you compete against women. Are you not a man? Shouldn't it you know what I mean?
But no, but I'm saying, you can't talk like this, Tara. There's so many facts and
Okay.
truth
Okay.
that you can't say because if you just talk logically, you're some sort of a phobe, whatever today's phobe is. That's what you are like because you can't. You just have to
So,
agree.
team,
You just have to agree, and if you don't, if you have to partake in the fantasy, and if you don't partake in the fantasy, you don't get to live your own reality. You have to partake in the fantasy. If you don't, you're a bad person. That's how we live today. It's shocking. It's shocking. It's a shocking place to be in. But what's even worse is it has affected TV. It
did you
has affected
see?
radio, the fucking
You
politics.
know, Zuby. You know your man Zuby.
Yeah,
Yeah. Did
the
you
tweet.
see he done something? I think it was last year or a while back, where he transitioned and then broke all the women's weightlifting records for single reps. Like, so he's now or was the champion for like women's weightlifting, and he done this kind of satirically, but it popped back up there. I was seeing it on Twitter the other day, and it was just he was ahead of his time with it. You know what I mean? Because it was a couple of years ago he did it, and it even hit the news. Like, you know what I mean? I think the news kind of took it as he was genuine, but he was just taking a piss, like. But
Yeah,
someone was responsible, like, no, don't depress me, and it's just don't bring your patriarchy fucking on me. I'm now the women's champion. You know what I mean? That fucking bench pressing 250 pounds or 300 pounds or whatever it is, like, smashed all the records. Like, you know what I mean? It's the only way to do it. The only way to do it is to make such a joke out of it, even though you're not allowed. But you just have
but
to.
the problem is that the only
Absurdity,
ones really that suffer then are women,
of
and I
course.
mean biological women. That they're the only ones that will suffer from this.
I'm quite
Even
happy
but
to accept.
even if you let trans men, if you let men compete in women's sports, women will lose out because the men will inevitably be better at 99% of the sports. They just will. If they're professional athletes, they just will. It just will, right? So then you have all these that are never going to win that, right? So women are being affected. If men take the stance of, well, no, this is ridiculous. Let's go make a point and let's go in and break all these world records. Women are being affected because they never get them records again.
I'll never,
Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's women will suffer again for that. And all for what? Like, it's just like, and the only thing that wants me to, like, I think they should kind of have their own separate section because again, men do and women do. So because it's just easier. But then you,
or
as you were saying, you have the women
at
get
least
punished.
you have to throw an asterisk beside any new world record because, like, yeah, even the biology of it means that it's not right. You know, it's not.
Wait,
It's
wait.
not sane.
No, but it's not about that. Right? Here's why it's important, right? And this is what people kind of understand. You know, I was just saying this today, right? So apparently in America, there's some judge who was being she's up for nomination for the Supreme Court. Can't think of her name. You can go. I don't have it today. Richardson or Blackmore or something like that. Anyway, so she was asked by one of the representatives or whatever that, like, can you define what a woman is? I remember listening to the judge, going for Supreme Court judge. Can you define what a woman is? And the judge said no. And she says, why can't you define it? She goes, well, I can't, not in this context. I'm not a biologist. So this we have a judge here, right? They're just listen, right? The judge says this, okay, and then I think the rebuttal was, how can you judge Roe v. Wade if you can't even define what a woman is? And she says, I can't define what so the Roe v. Wade is actually against a woman's right. So she used the word woman in this context, so she could do it. But in this context, she doesn't understand the definition of it. This is where it gets all word fuckity uppity. The word has to have a definition and a meaning. Just
Yeah, but when they
for,
say
just
woman,
for functionality.
but when they say woman, it's like when they say the word person in court. They're not talking about a flesh and blood man or woman. So when they were asked to define what a woman is biologically, they can't do it because a fucking Black Laws Dictionary law society term woman is different to an actual woman. You know what I mean? For legal
No,
terms.
but that's not why she wasn't doing it. She wasn't doing it because she didn't want to. Like, it's like again the Matt Walsh thing that's going viral, where he's on Dr. Phil and he's talking to the two transgender people, um, and he says to them, he says, like, you can't like, define the word woman, and they're like, well, I can't because and so that's the thing. He goes, this is how you beat them. You just ask them to define the word woman, and they can't do it. So they can't do it because once they do it, the whole narrative crumbles. So you have to just
Yeah.
pretend that it's just this arbitrary thing, but it's not. It's a word. It has a
Well,
meaning.
unless they say, a woman is how you feel inside.
Yeah, but it's
And
not
then you
because
give
again,
them a
I think Matt Walsh
head.
made one of the best points I've ever heard. I think he made one of the best points I've ever heard when he says, "In 100 years, when they're dead, and if they're dug up, the people digging them up will have no idea what they thought, but they will know, oh well, this was
Now,
a male and or female."
let me let me say this is they are trying to see all these new bodies that are being discovered that are like 18,000 years old, 20,000 years old, and they're starting to, maybe if mummified bodies and all that they found recently in Egypt and fucking different places like that, if they have long hair, they're starting to use that to say people 18,000 years ago were non-binary because the males had long hair and they were transgender. And this is what they're saying now. This is how ridiculous lengths they're going to now to try and justify what they're saying or doing or believe. They're trying to say 18,000 years ago, this fucking hunter gatherer, fucking half caveman bloke is transgender because he had long hair and wore.
But who's saying that? Who's saying that? Is it the
You
scientist
know,
saying that, or is it the
no, I'm reading news articles and stuff that's being put out. New headline: transgender body found mummified. You know what I mean? You're like, what? Hold on, you start reading it. It's like they
But
found a
even
man.
if it was, even if it's going on, it's in fucking Adam and Eve.
Yeah, but this is how ridiculous it's going. They're trying to rewrite history to fit their modern narrative.
I have to go there. They go, who's about Adam and Eve? I'm an atheist. I'm just not using that as a point of context.
You know what I mean?
Just pointing it out.
I'm not binary in a binary fucking world. You know what I mean? It's
No,
ridiculous.
it's
It's
just
ridiculous.
madness. I mean,
It's
it's
you know
so
what?
madness.
Yeah, it's more frustrating because you have to keep up with what's going on just to understand the the right the new
Just a weed through
terminology.
the matrix. It's
No,
not
but
really like a weed.
because it's being played out into every aspect of society. It's everywhere now. It's in every fucking movie you watch. It's being advertised. It's like the climate stuff. You have to kind of keep on top of it. You have to keep your knowledge level of the new terms, the new ideologies, and all, just so you're aware of what shit they're trying to pull on you. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like you get hit with some new shit, and you're like, wait, what? A fucking a nerp norp? What the fuck is that? Like, you know what I mean? Cunts coming out, no, I believe in the cat people. What cat people?
I
And
think,
then
I think, I think, I think the beauty of us, we kind of get to walk around and just kind of say whatever we feel because we already have enough shit out there to get us cancelled in a fucking heartbeat. So we're
I,
just,
I
we're
would
dumb.
never be foolish
You've
enough to
already
say we're
cancelled.
uncancelable. Do you know the way people
Yeah,
go, "Oh,
we're
cancelable?" Like,
already
no, no.
cancelled.
We're on borrowed time here. On
Oh,
borrowed time.
we're already cancelled. We just haven't copped it yet.
Just haven't got
That's
there yet.
all.
They're just going
So it
through
gives
the
you that kind
archive
of,
at the moment. Oh
gives you
no,
that little
literally.
freedom to be
Let's
saying
be honest. If we hit any sort of notoriety, we'd be shut down in a heartbeat. Like, you know what I mean? In a heartbeat, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, you're discredited completely." Like, you know what I mean? You're the guy who said this. Like, and I'd be like, "Yeah, I agree with you." Like, I'll just grab me coat and I'll be out of here. Like, sorry to bother you, but yeah,
you did this during the lockdown. That was misinformation. Yeah, but now it's true. Like now it turned out to be true. Yeah, but at the time it was misinformation. Boop, gone. No, but it was true. It turned out that you were wrong, and it was actually true. Yeah, but at the time it was misinformation. So
So
that's
have you signed up for your Ukrainian refugee? Yeah. Have you got your care package?
I haven't got my catalogue yet. I don't know which one to take.
What section are you looking in?
No, yeah, look, to me again, it's just an absolute fucking sheer proof of just absolute mind control. It's fucking shocking. It's so heartbreaking. Well, no, it's so destroying to see. It's like these are the people that are supposed to like, lead the revolution if the new world order, new takeover. If any kind of major government did want to just fucking rule the world, they absolutely could 100%. There's nothing you can do
Easy,
about it.
easy.
It's shocking, man. It's so fucking.
Yeah, I was listening to a yoke in the doll earlier or whatever. I'm not sure if it was today, yesterday or something. And it was your man Michael Healy Ray, and he was having a go at fucking Leo Varadkar about like the preposterous fucking policies you are bringing in to keep the Greens happy because everybody knows that if you didn't pander to these nut jobs, that you literally wouldn't get to be Taoiseach again because the government would fold. You know what I mean? So this was kind of the argument he's having. And fucking Varadkar had to go back on him or whatever. At the end of it, your man Healy Ray goes, "Sure, you're away with the fairies, you are." They shut down the doll, made him apologize, and you know what I mean. I think about what he had said because it was deemed to be uh, homosexual,
Oh,
so, something along them lines. They were trying to insinuate that it was like, and it had me thinking like this new hate speech law that they're bringing in. This literally feeds into that now, where you can say a term in Ireland that you couldn't convince anybody in Ireland that what he said was in any way homophobic or fucking
oh,
deep.
fuck. It's a saying that's been around before gay people. Is that
Like
is that
Ireland is
homophobic?
Ireland is
People react.
literally the land of the fairy folk. So saying
Yeah,
someone's away with the fairies means so the fairies were known tricksters and they take it. You'd have to be mad to go with them. You know, you'd have to be mad to go with the fairies because they pull all sorts of fucking tricks. You disappear into fairyland and you'd fucking
exactly. Yeah, they're mental. They're
you,
not really.
exactly. You know what I
Crazy.
mean?
Yeah,
And he
they're
tried to
like
equate it,
bonkers. Crazy.
but the way he tried to equate it was so disingenuous. Like, oh, you are dude. Like you,
But it's fun, and you know that people will latch onto it
the
because you can't
gaslight,
rebuttal
yeah,
it. Because you rebuttal
exactly.
it, you're a
And yet
homophobe.
you're back into this term where we can't have a discussion because you just shut down the sentiment. Like the gaslighting was like how we got to where you know what I mean. Like you had to jump through so many fucking metaphorical hoops to get to like oh no you're talking about my sexuality. No, like you know what I mean. No, like you said you're away with the phrase because what you're saying is mad. Like and that's a
Yeah.
fairly bog standard. Now that's a homophobic slur. And if you were on Facebook now, Red, with this hate speech thing comes in and fucking you're talking ill of the government, these fucking wankers, and they're stealing this, and the inflation's going up, and the price of petrol, these fucking nut jobs are away with the fairies. Boom, in court, fucking, you know what I mean? Shut down.
And you know what? I bet you ten out of the ones that go, oh my god, these right wing Nazis, these scumbag Nazis, they won't end up in court.
This is what I'm saying,
Even
and
though
this
it's hasty,
this is what kind
hasty.
of annoyed me about the Peaky Blinders thing, where they kept showing the swastika. Now I know it's set at the time at the moment when World War II was about to kick off and all that, but they just keep talking about this socialist as if it's a good thing, and then the fascists are the bad thing, and it's like, all right, can both of them not be terrible? Like, you know what I mean? And why would I be one of them for disagreeing with the other one? Like, you know, am I automatically on this side because I disagree with that side? I hate both of you as equally as about retarded, like, you know what I mean? But
Yeah, no,
yeah,
the socialist kind of agenda thing that doesn't really bother me. I think this is part of the time. Um,
yeah.
it doesn't bother me so much, I have to say. So, yeah, fucking, but yeah, that's good. Oh, but Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, I know. I'm enjoying it though. It's pulling all the old heartstrings. This one, this season,
I haven't watched the last season. I haven't watched any of them yet.
the new
Gonna wait
season.
till, yeah, I'm gonna wait till it finish and then I'm gonna
I
watch
was
them all
going,
now.
I was going to, but it's kind of on a Sunday night. I don't really watch it on a Sunday night, so I'm just kind of fucking throwing it on. Um, it's it's yeah, no, look, I obviously don't want to give any spoilers, but it's definitely fucking. It's a bit heart wrenchy as well. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff going on.
Not
Honorable
for me.
mention. Honorable mention the Polly who passed away. Can't remember her
Oh
fucking
yeah,
name.
he probably yeah.
Yeah. You watching anything else at the moment? Anything of interest?
At the moment, do you know what's actually good? I haven't got stuck into it. She loves it. The F1 drive thing.
Right.
It's the yoga on Netflix. The yoga about
Yeah. No,
F1.
yeah.
I've watched a couple of episodes. Fucking deadly. Like I missed it like from the start sort of
Is
thing.
it
I've been
all the
playing.
shit in the background where they're all fucking
Yeah, yeah,
all the snipey little
yeah.
shit? Yeah. Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
it's all that then, but it kind of shows a bit more detail how the business runs and the fucking operates and the actually how what goes into the cars and the pits on them. But
Yeah.
then it's all the drivers kind of like and their fucking contracts and all that shit. Like, yeah, it's actually really good. Like, um, and then they bought this team and now obviously he's getting kicked off because I've taken him from Renault and fucking the Renault drivers now with fucking Ferrari and they're number two now has to go find somewhere. Like and he just got told by text now. Like it's mad, like you know what I mean. Um, Yeah, that wasn't that. And else, I don't really watch a lot of shows, man. The good sort of person that like if I'm going into bed or whatever, or just like chilling out, I usually put on like, like a YouTube, Mr. Ball and things happening on the background more than anything else. I'm not really going to sit down and watch watch shows. I can't really think about it else. No,
Um,
not watching
I'm
anything
trying to
like that.
remember what I've been watching. I finished Reacher, which was alright. Wasn't bad. The movie was shite. I don't know if you ever seen the movie with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I think it's in the movie about
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
they kind of done this the right way. Kind of kept to the books. Like they took the guy. He was in Titans. But he's a big fella. You know what I mean. He kind of plays the part well. But yeah, and it's just fucking something to watch. You know what I mean. Haven't really been watching. Did you watch Peacemaker?
what's
The one
that?
with John Cena in it now. So
I
I
don't
don't,
know.
did you ever watch Suicide Squad? Did you watch the new
Yeah,
Suicide Squad movie, right? So the John Cena character in that kills Rick Flag, Peacemaker. So they do his spin-off show. It's worth a watch. It's good crack. It's good crack.
can't do that. Can't do John Cena. Sorry, can't
No,
do.
no, he's brilliant in it. He's brilliant. He's a full-blown degenerate. I'm not a huge John Cena fan in any form or fashion, and he's brilliant in this. Like I didn't even like him in the Suicide Squad. Thought it's just like whatever. What the fuck is he doing this? Like it's fucking brilliant. It is like it's really good. It's kind of over the top, gratuitous violence in a lot of cases. Like, and it's really well done. Like, and some of the shit they're saying is fucking gas. Like, music in it is brilliant. It's just, yeah, no, I'd recommend it. Even if you're not big into superhero stuff, like it's good. It's good. I'd recommend this now for something to watch. If you have nothing to watch, like I'd recommend it. Brilliant. And like I don't like John Cena at all, and he was brilliant in this. Right, Red's gone. Um, yeah, I recommend anyone out there listening if you haven't seen Peacemaker or if you have seen it, throw a comment in and let Red know. Like it's the music in it and all is fucking brilliant.
Right, like that. I was just looking at it. I was like, fucking let me soup on in the
Yeah,
slow
soup.
cooker. So that like, just keeping warm, but like, maybe maybe going back to fucking
Yeah,
vegetables.
are you on like one of them little camping hobs? Like, is that what you're reduced to now to keep the gas, the use the gas? You know what I mean? Keep the fucking
Yeah,
electricity prices down. Like,
fucking shocking. Absolutely shocking. Like, and the diesel and all that stuff, man. Fucking hell.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
absolute vermin.
You want to see the shit was dealing with fucking this delivery? That's where it was delayed getting on here. Yeah. So we ordered something off Amazon, and it was like back in February. It was a couple of £100. Like, I was waiting for it to arrive at my ma's gaff, and there was a few different things in it. It was like 7 different things in it, and like after a few days, I got an email stating that they only had 6 of them instead of 7 or something like that. So they refunded me the price of one of them, and so right, that was the last that was in February. And last week I got a random email from Amazon, to rate your product. I was like, rate me product? Like I haven't even got the fucking thing yet, you know what I mean? So I jump in and it turns out like they were saying it was delivered the week before to me ma's, right? So I got on to me ma, like the fucking package got there to me. No, nothing. So like that was fucking new because you normally get a text off the courier, like DPD, or it was DPD in this case, but whoever, you know what I mean? You normally get a text a day or two before, right? It's reached our depot or whatever, be within a few days, or our driver be out here or whatever, you know what I mean? That's where you put your fucking email and your text number in or whatever, your phone number. And I got nothing at all. So I'm like, this is fucking dodgy, like. So I got back onto them. I was like, I didn't get there's no package delivered, right? So Amazon gets back onto me and goes, we checked with the seller. Dave said the courier delivered it, you know what I mean? And then they sent me, the tracker took me to a page where it said, like, delivered on the 9th of March at fucking 11:30 in the morning. taken by someone called signed for by Brandon. I'm like, fucking Brandon. There's no Brandon anywhere near fucking me, man. The only Brandon is fucking Joe Biden. You know what I mean? There ain't no Brandons here. So I get back on to them and go, no, it's fucking definitely, like, they're saying it was definitely delivered to that. They're happy it was delivered to that house and taken in by Brandon, right? So I was like, well, that then definitely it wasn't, because there's no fucking Brandon there, like. And they came back with a yoke saying DPD, the carrier, had sent this information. So Amazon were satisfied that the package was delivered, and if, as far as they were concerned, the matter was closed. And if I wanted, I could report it stolen, and then they take it from there. You know what I mean? Because I wanted my money back. Like, I was like, that's me bollocks. So I got on to DPD, and it took me fucking eight. I was trying to ring them, couldn't get through to them and all. So I sent them an email. Like 2 days later, I got an email back. What was your fucking tracker number? So I sent you 2 days. So eventually, they got back to me just earlier saying that package was returned to seller. So now it's a matter between you and the seller. I'm like, but they fucking said it was delivered. They were satisfied it was delivered to my address, signed for by someone, and now you're stating that it wasn't delivered. Like, why? You know what I mean? So I'm waiting for them to get back with a why. I'm waiting for Amazon to fucking what they had, and the fucking seller to see what they had to say. And the whole time sitting here, going, I just want my fucking money back. Is cunts, like, what the fuck? Awful scenario here. Like, I was about to start printing out stuff and just go up to the guard and report the stolen, and the cunt sent me back a message going, "Nah, that's gone back to the sender." Like, why? Why was it sent? Can you not give me any more information? Why was it sent to sender, and why did you apparently tell them that it was delivered? Like,
Yeah,
so
and why would
fucking
you send
dumb
that
and
and not give you? If you did deliver, give me a shout and I'll get down to the depot. Like, oh,
whatever. But
really,
it's just,
literally,
everything seemed suspect about it. It was like, I didn't get a text to say it was being delivered. I only checked, like, it was weeks. It was about 3 or 4 weeks. I only went back in and checked because literally I got a fucking yoke from Amazon saying rate the product. It's like, what fucking product? Like, you want me to go in and rate the, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? And then seeing it was delivered, and like, that wasn't delivered last week. Like, and then no, it was taken in by, and then no, we didn't have it. It's, you know what I mean? So I'm like,
yeah. I
yeah,
think she's going to do that with Aston Villa. She ordered a jersey for Christmas and it never came. She got the pajamas and something else from the shop, like, and a jersey, and it
be
came.
honest, it was your personal Stevie Gerrard fucking kit, wasn't it?
No,
Steve,
honestly, but it was a gift or
yeah,
Christmas ago, but never arrived. So what she did was she got back onto them and all. She was waiting for them to get back, and she ordered another one separately to make sure she had one for Christmas. Like. And then they kind of got back on saying, "Oh yeah, what's the crack? Oh no, it says here it's being delivered." And she says, "Yeah, but it was delivered, but wasn't in the bag." And they're like saying, "Yeah, but it was
yeah.
where it was delivered." And she goes, "Yeah, no, I got the delivery, but it said 3 items, but it's 2 items." And they're trying to say, and she's like, "Look, you've actually bought the jersey again. I'm not trying to like I didn't buy 2 jerseys. I'm not trying to steal from you. I just I didn't get to it. It was a present, so I had to buy it again. So can you give me the money for the one that never came?" Like, and every time she's getting a different person back onto her, it's a
Yeah.
nightmare. Like, it's just the principle of it. That's all it is. Like, it's
I
literally just the
know.
principle.
Like, if it was something for like 30 or 40 quid, I'd be like, you know what, whatever, I'll just buy it again. It's like 250 quid. I'm like, fucking cunts better short this. So I'll burn Amazon to the ground, like. Whatever. I'll go on DPD to the ground. I'll fucking fly over the blade in the UK. I'll burn that shop to the ground. Whatever. Give me money.
Red Red is not.
No, it was the fact that they blatantly lied annoyed me. You know what I mean? Like, Amazon were like, "No, we're happy DPD," and they sent me a link, and when I went to the link, it was on the DPD UK page, and it stated that it was delivered at, and they were happy that it was received at the address stated. And then I get on to DPD over here, and they go, "No, that's been sent back." Well, then you're clearly fucking lying. So you said it was received at this address, and it wasn't. And you've said it's sent back. It can't be both those things, like, you know what I mean? So it's just annoying me, and it's been so slow. That's the process, and I want to sit down. I want you fucking better mail me back within 5 minutes, because like I don't even check my phone. You know what I mean? So it could be a day before I'd see the email or whatever. You know what I mean? I had to turn off because my fucking Gmail gets fucking riddled with bleeding we'd be pinging all day. You know what I mean? All fucking ads and whatever. You know what I mean? So it could be a day or two before I'm jumping back in as well. It's a bit of both, but it's just fucking frustrating. You know what I mean? It's more that they're saying, yeah, the matter's closed, so you just have to report it stolen because we're 100% sure we've investigated it and it's been delivered. And then we get onto the same cunt Facebook, they get onto it and they go, no, it's been sent back. Like, the fuck, like, you know what I mean? So, very unhappy.
Get to
Very
the bottom of that. Get to the bottom of that. Get to the bottom of that. One star.
And I'm calling these cunts out on air, calling them all out. You're all cunts. State your businesses. Fuck yous all. I hope yous all fucking born in hell for this shit. Online fucking buying. It's a lot.
Do not reflect the show, the views of the Tera Show, Inc.
No, it absolutely does. I stand by every word. Cancel me now, bitches. Yeah, so that's what's going on in my life anyway at the moment. Other than that, it's good to get the weather, Ed. It's good to get the weather. I'm sure you're back hibernating again, are you? What's going on? You getting your new laptop? Is that what you're saying? A new laptop?
Yeah.
New
laptop on Sunday. That's what I feel like a good power seat or something. I haven't done much research, like just something that I can do podcasts on.
Will it take an input from a mic and a fucking webcam?
Yeah, how many parts? I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, that's what it is. Living a bit of local, man. Living a bit walking and going home. It's great because the thing is, I live so close to where I walk, like, and like I mean, ridiculously close. Like, you're talking 4 minute drive, like, and so like when I finish, I'm just gonna get home. And I don't want to. Like, I'm so happy to have so much time that I don't do anything. It's weird.
That kind of happened with me recently. We started walking for a crowd on the north side because we used to walk all over the place in town, south side, and all, you know yourself. Man, just walking on the north side. Now, it hasn't been an issue the last 2 years because the traffic is only starting to get back bad now. But like, you finish a Balbriggan or something at 5:30 and you're home at 10 to 6, you know what I mean? No matter what time. Finish at 3:30 in Balbriggan, you're home at 10 to 4. Like, it doesn't matter where you are. Like, you're going against the traffic the whole time. You're local most of the time. You walk it so that, like, if you have a couple of jobs for the day, you might start in Scaries, job in Swords, job in Donamead, then a job in our time, boom, home. You know what I mean? Like, it's grand. Love that shit. So I get what you're saying. There's lots of pluses to it, especially with the weather getting better and all. Like, you fucking want to be home. Don't want to be sitting in traffic for 2 hours trying to get across town or something.
I don't want to be sitting there either. It's just good that I have to sit in the car getting baked. Because I actually have a bit of a colour, and that's just being in the car, like, from
I thought you had AIDS or something now. Or Vades.
I'm just ginger. I have ginger. That's what I have.
Right. Yeah, well, that's just as bad. Let's be honest. Word. Right, look, I'm gonna bounce, get me din-dins. Good to talk to you again, Red. It's been a while, it's been a minute. You get your new laptop.
We haven't spoken actually ages. This is like very impromptu. So the next time we'll have topics and shit ready. But this is just like, I'm trying to go live with because I get a laptop, I'm gonna be going live again. That's fucking
all those things. I'm still kind of upset about the vicious abuse I took from that last review that we did.
That's my favorite video ever.
I was told I didn't have a soul.
I was getting text now, like, Tera shouldn't do reaction videos. This is what we're talking about. And they go, yeah, no, man, he's really holding me back here.
Yeah. It's, you know what I mean? Like, man can't have an opinion no more. Has to be fucking settled, you know what I mean? Fucking only one gender.
I'm the one that's supposed to be soulless, like, you know what I mean? And you just prove that you're fucking...
It wasn't all that.
Listen to it with headphones on. Get 5 minutes to yourself, whack on some headphones, sit there, just have a listen to it. And by the time the end of it, you'll be like, oh man.
Do I have to be a bit emotional before I go and do it? Like,
yeah, like, have a row with family.
Yeah,
yeah. No, so what? Start a row, and then they come over. Get
the goosebumps. I'll be on the next one. Like, I felt it in my soul.
Walk in, crying, apologizing. I'm sorry, yeah, but like a normal size arse.
Will I be embraced into the community then once I fucking get it? You know what I
Oh
mean?
no,
Like
no, 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 no,
there
no,
was
you're not.
fucking an awful lot of shade thrown my way. It was like this is a bit
That's
harsh.
amazing.
Like, you know what I mean? I didn't say it like, wasn't all right. Like it was, you know what I mean? It just wasn't all that. It's that. It's, you know what I mean? What kind of praise are you looking for here? Like, should I bow down before the Almighty? Fucking, you know?
The views of terrorists do not reflect the views of the Red Terror Show.
yeah,
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 no,
yeah. That's the real reason why we have like I've had to serve out a fucking 5 month suspension or something since the last video, is
yeah,
it?
yeah. There's
Until
all
I
the
get
death
it
threats and all
solved.
that. All the
You
death
go
threats.
and acquire this. I'm after sitting on a mountain in the Himalayas, fucking meditating for the last 5 months, like trying to
This
acquire.
is the REM and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
feels low in the night.
yeah. Just listening to fucking love songs and soppy music, fucking on repeat. Like, I think I feel it now, guys. Right, let me hear it again. It's like a new brand of fucking communism or something. It was thrown into like the Uyghur fucking Chinese death camps and fucking
Where's the
reprogrammed.
result? Where's the result? Where's the result?
You gotta
I
do
wouldn't
what you
like.
gotta do.
I wouldn't let you on Frank here. I'd be going, no, man, get here now. He's soulless. Like, he belongs on the other side. Born him.
But
Witch.
anyway,
Listen
yeah.
to Witch.
So we'll be back next week where I will fucking attempt to redeem my credible good name, my honorable good name, which has been shattered.
Yeah,
One fell review. Yeah. So
I remember
anyway,
thinking that.
Red, it's been good to catch up with you. Go
You
get
too,
yourself
buddy.
a new laptop and we'll reconvene at a fucking appropriate time next week.
Yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out to all you lovely people and appreciate everyone for tuning in. All the messages, shout out everyone there, Ross Dowell and Oli, anyone else who was there. Fair play to you, anyone who tunes in later. God love yous, and we'll see you soon. Peace.
Yeah.